he's returned with glasses on.
Yeah, I had that.
We didn't talk about blue light and how blue light is a very, very strong stimulant of sympathetic dominance and phototoxicity in the body. It's another thing. Chronic blue light exposure.
Yeah, it seems like that the Hedron stuff ties into well, not just Hedron, obviously other competitors and everything ties into a lot of these topics. We probably could have spent quite a few minutes on that part. Um, you
Well,
know,
we can touch on that really, really quickly in the sense that so electromagnetic stress, EMF stress, is a thing, and it's actually the nervous system to where most electromagnetic stress is experienced in the body because non-native EMFs cause dysregulations to the natural fields and rhythms within the human body if excessively exposed. So mitigating your EMF environment using some sort of mitigation product, and you can't block EMF, you can only really harmonize it. If you block it, your Wi-Fi doesn't work anymore. You're living in a Faraday cage. So that's an important topic for people because I think I read an article recently. Our EMF exposure has increased 1 billion times in the last 100 years. So like that's a lot of zeros. So that's the first thing. And the second thing is environmentally, we're meant to have a light and dark cycle that is the sun's rays moving through the sky over the course of the day varies the color spectrum that our eyes are experiencing, which helps regulate our nervous system. When we illuminate our environment at night and we're using high efficiency energy bulbs, or watching a TV screen before bed, or watching a movie in bed on our laptops to fall asleep, not only are we compromising our ability to produce melatonin and regulate our sleep-wake rhythm, we push ourselves into a state of lower HRV, so lesser heart rate variability, so the body's always in a state of sympathetic dominance. If everyone here is listening and they don't have a pair of Hedron glasses, it is the single most simple thing you can do in the evening that will affect your health positively. Put them on if you're going to watch TV. I'm not saying don't watch TV, don't put your lights on in the evening. You don't have to live by candlelight, but controlling your environmental exposure is going to help your body regulate the rhythmic aspects of the day and night signals, which ultimately help your nervous system operate better and your body recovers faster.
I'm glad you just gave the rundown on that.
There
Um,
we go.
I think the channel for us is a supplement company, mostly the partnership with Hedron. And there you see more and more competitors coming around. Hedron's been around for a long time. I know they have a great website and the institute they worked with some California institute where they actually got like the certifications for all the way up to 9G on the actual harmonizing devices. I wanted to ask you just to stay on this conversation for a little bit. The glasses, like I feel like if I'm the patient, I feel when I'm in front of the computer all day. I prefer the old Hedron or these yellow. God, I think these are Ra, the brand Ra.
Yes. And these are the day lenses, whereas the
Yes.
Hedron are kind of like more evening night lenses because they have an amber tint.
So if you could see me and I'm like in at night, like in the master bedroom and it's dim and I'm like watching like YouTube TV or YouTube, like I do tend to switch to the orange. I've got a backup pair here for when I forget them, but I've gotten to the point where yeah, I'm alternating different glasses depending on the time of day. But if I don't have them and I just sit down and I'm an hour or two in front of the big computer screens during the day, I feel it. What I wonder sometimes, and there's just the sales are going up, and there's more interest in the harmonizing products. But I sometimes just wonder. I guess what I struggle with is, do patients are they feeling it? It's like one thing when we're talking about gut health, and you've got very noticeable symptoms of being irregular, too loose, or too bound up. It's like you can't run from it, and we help it. Typically, we help get things regular, and people typically notice that to me, the EMFs, that's part of the challenges and maybe diagnosing it. I guess is where my question's going from a clinical perspective. When do you rule out everything else and go, oh, maybe this is actually just a case of your EMF overload? Like how long into the process? It seems like that could be sort of a sleeper cause. That's not the first thing that maybe gets looked at, but could
It's a
be.
great question. So I have one thing to say before that. I noticed you said the master bedroom. Do you say master bedroom because you own master supplements? Is that like, is that in the branding?
Well, just
I had
want to
to.
make
Sorry, it
sure
was
I'm
too
not
easy.
like, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not out in the guest house.
Uh,
I'm not, I'm not
so
in a tent out in the
yeah,
backyard. Not
not yet.
yet.
So the reality of feeling an EMF harmonizing device, unless someone is incredibly sensitive to the point where they can detect when the Wi-Fi is on or off, our sensory organs, our sight, our ears, our skin, the only thing that can potentially come close to feeling high levels of EMF exposure is if someone can actually feel it through their physical person. And it's kind of like a sense beyond a sense. And most people won't feel the harmonizer in real time, but the downstream effects of knowing when you're not getting chronically exposed to EMF stress, improved quality of sleep, the ability to relax, blood sugar regulation. If you ever track your blood sugar with one of those continuous glucose monitors, typically when people are around chronic EMF stress, their blood sugar is always higher. The regulation of emotions and less volatility in how someone's operating. These are typically where the signs of EMF mitigation will show up as an experience. The glasses will be more overt. And I can echo this with you, where if I'm in front of a computer and I don't have these on and I'm in front of a computer for too long, I feel the muscles in my eyes fatigue. Whereas when I have these on, I don't. And even when I'm out for dinner in the evenings, I'll wear these and I pass them around the table and I watch everyone do the same thing. They put them on, they go, oh, because it's a contrast experience. It's like when you're normal isn't feeling good, but you don't know what feeling good feels like. The idea of feeling better is just, it's just a series of words. When you actually put them on and experience the difference, it's very palpable because it instantly brings down your state of vigilance. But what the glasses are also doing is artificially dominant blue light. What I mean by artificially dominant blue light is anything that's a screen, that's an LED, that doesn't generate a heat signature is mostly blue light. The blue light doesn't just reflect on your face, the eye absorbs the light. So the rods and cones and the photoreceptors in your eyes are actually taking in this blue dominant light, which is essentially the photonic equivalent of junk food. So blue light is a toxin like the red and blue dyes in sports drinks are toxins for your body. And what ends up happening is it starts to destroy the integrity of the cells within the eyes. So it actually degrades your vision over time. And if you listen to some of the work by people who've really dug into this, there's even a theory that it actually disrupts neuromelanin inside the brain, causing nervous system issues because we were not meant to look at screens for 8 hours a day. We were meant to look at the environment illuminated by the sun. And when the sun goes down, we have moonlight, which is a very, very small emittance of photons. So when we're artificially illuminating our light all evening, we also have photoreceptors in our skin. So the eye is the dominant one, and the skin also takes it in. But most people think it's the sun that causes vision problems because of ultraviolet light. Newsflash, when you're driving your car, there's no UV light coming in your car because glass absorbs it all. UV light is actually needed in the eye, but it's the blue light without the requisite amounts of red, orange, yellow, green that compromise our eye health over time. And blue light can also raise blood sugar levels artificially, especially at night. Dysregulates melatonin, increases the level of cortisol, so it makes someone reduce their resilience and their stress tolerance capabilities over time, but it's insidious. You don't
Mm.
know it until you learn it or you've experienced a sort of contrast.
Reducing your stress tolerances over time
Yeah,
in insidious way. You don't even realize it's happening until you're just like really on edge.
exactly. I'm so angry
Um,
with you people and I don't know why.
what you touched on something too, like I've often thought about because before I really got into the glasses, I think this is what I did, and maybe what some other people still do is when you dim the light on your phone or on your computer screens because it's getting late, and if you're sitting there and the lights are off and you've got your phone on normal bright, it's usually like so bright you're like, whoa, it's like slapping you in the face. So you dim it a little bit, but that's not going to stop the blue light from coming through. I mean, it probably has
Nope.
it's maybe better the dimmer it is. I don't want to say that it's not, but you're still not filtering out the blue light completely. It's just dimmed it,
Correct.
so your eyes
You've
are
you've
still.
reduced the intensity of it, but the source is still there because it's designed as a cool LED. There's actually a computer that's actually a blue light free computer that's being created as a tablet. And it's interesting. When you take it outside, the sun amplifies the quality. But what happens when you take a TV screen or a computer or a cell phone outside in the sun? You can't see anything, right? Because it's competing with the sun. So that's how you know it's a blue dominant screen is the sun blocks it out because it will always outpower a computer screen or a cell phone. So you're right. And the simplest thing is to put a pair of glasses on. The only complaint I get from people is, well, it makes the TV look weird color-wise. Well, yes. Yes, it does. I'm sorry, but it's going to help you sleep much better. So you'll be watching TV in the evening for many more years, hopefully, in a good state of health.
Well, yeah, they'll do better with the yellow glasses. It's a much the
Yes.
orange where you're going for like the full blue blocking. The
Mhm.
orange definitely you feel like you're swimming in a sea of orange.
But
These yellow, they're really not that bad, and yeah, you feel it when you don't have them on. I think people would get used to them if they try them. So,
I tell people, do it every day for a month, and if they track their sleep quality on a Whoop or an Oura Ring, it will go up. I've had many pro athletes tell me that their HRV scores have gone up simply by using glasses in the evening because they refuse to not watch something. So let's make it the best it can possibly be as a compromise.
hey, this was like a bonus. We might have to take the EMF conversation into a separate video.
Yeah?
My only regret is I didn't catch Jacqueline. I think she may have jumped off. She had raised her hand,
Yes.
did put in the questions, and just said thank you. This was really helpful, or this was great. So thank you, Jacqueline. And feel free to email. I'll be sending out the link and everything. And Roland's great slides. There was some really interesting ones on there, throughout. So those will be going out to everybody tomorrow. And thank you, Roland. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jeff, and thank you, everyone, as well. We'll see you guys in about a month.